bus or I/O only or field bus only. So by default it's I/O and field bus, but if let's say your customer does not want to use the I/O, they can also use just field bus. Okay, so for now we'll just configure with I/O and field bus. Then what is the supply voltage? So for us typically it's 230, that's the standard one. And if let's say you have any external braking resistor connected to it, but if you don't have, then it's okay. And you don't have to change this if there's no external braking resistor, then you just click next. Next is what is the field bus that you are using. So you can configure either you want Profinet, EtherCAT or Modbus TCP. Okay? So if let's say Modbus TCP, then you need to configure what is the telegram and the IP address for the port. For EtherCAT and Profinet, you don't have to configure the port. Okay? So let's say we just stay with EtherCAT here first. Okay, so for the field bus, right? Because we are using a multi-protocol drive, so there is a switch in the actual drive, right? Yeah, there's a dual switch here. If you later you can open the actual one also. There's a dual switch here, switch 1, 2, and 3. So depends on this dual switch configuration, it will have a different protocol. Either it's Profinet, EtherCAT, or Ethernet IP. So if let's say you want to use the configuration from your FFS configuration, then you need to make sure that the switch are all set to 0. If let's say you have set something like 001 or 010 for example, then it will not the configuration it will not take the configuration into consideration. It will just use whatever that you have configured in the dual switch. Okay. So but right now I believe it's 000. That's why we can still use the configuration from our CMMT. Okay, then here is where you can put your application data because if let's say your actuator has a load of like 1 kg or 5 kg, you can just put in here. It will help with the closed loop as well as for the mounting position, whether your drive is a horizontal or vertical axis. Okay, so you can just leave this. If it's for this case it's horizontal, so we don't have to configure it. Then we have hardware switches, whether your drive has a limit switch as well as a reference switch. But for this case, the actuator that we have right now, if you have it, right, depending on your NO and NC contact, then you can configure it.
Should be NC.
For reference switch is NO, for limit switch is NC. Yeah. But for this case, we do not have any switches, so we just forget about it. Then we can click next. So homing method, we will have a lot of homing method. I will go through this with you guys tomorrow, but let's just put it with a negative stop first. And then if you want to have a whether you want to have a software limit. So this is because we don't have a hardware limit switch here, so let's just enable the software limit switch. Okay, then after that your configuration is done. What you need to do is make sure your IP address path is correct, so you can also scan it. Okay, so when you are connected, right, it will actually show all the device type that you are configured here, and so like then you can identify if this is your serial number. If yes, then you can just apply, and then you apply the address to here, and then you can try to connect. Okay, and